You think you're so smart.
Callum, help me!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Ev.
Goodbye, Callum.
Ev, you're dead.
Callum, she's a trick! A trick! A setup! Get the men!
Shut up. You look thinner. Starvation will do that. Or maybe the lack of oxygen.
We all thought. Lena said the ditch was deep enough that the dirt...
It was. Still drinking this? I bought that case for your 40th birthday. Used the bonus you gave me for taking out the Rossi kid.
She's lying! She's a ghost, Callum! She's here to curse us!
Warm. You always let it sit too long.
Where have you been? 2 years. I looked everywhere.
6 feet under, mostly. Then I got bored of the worms. Touch me, and I'll have your hand mounted on the wall next to the deer heads.
Ev, please, let me explain.
Explain what? Explain how you watched them pack the dirt down? Explain how you didn't check if I was still breathing before you got in your car?
I thought I was saving you! The commission was coming for us! Lena had proof you sold the arms to the Biachis!
Lena forged it, but we'll get to that later. Welcome back, Don O'Rida. Your wake starts now. You keep looking at those. They itch when it rains.
I didn't know. I didn't check. I should have...
The ditch was 8 feet deep. Do you know how heavy 8 feet of wet earth is? I counted the shovel strikes, 73. You paused at 62, lit a cigarette, finished the pack while they filled it in.
I thought you were already gone. I didn't want to see...
You didn't want to see me die. You wanted plausible deniability, but you heard me, Callum. Under the dirt, my nails breaking, my throat raw. You heard me pegging for you to dig.
God, Ev, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry doesn't fill a grave. Read it. West Coast ports. All of them. As of midnight, none of your shipments clear without my signature.
But the commission, they'll kill me.
They'll try, but they're busy dealing with the fire I set in their New Orleans warehouse last week.
Why now? Why come back now?
Because you're losing. And I wanted to watch you realize the ground you're standing on is already mine. Get out. We're not done. For the shelter, buy blankets, food, whatever they need.
That's the restaurant's operating capital. Ev, that's $300,000.
It was. Now it's a down payment on the silence of every person you've ever wronged. Keep it, in case anyone else needs burying.
Please, please, Ev. I'll give you everything. The houses, the cars, the territories. Just don't take this from me.
That's the key to the cellar, where you kept the ledgers. There's a bottle of the Macallan down there. Drink it. It'll help with the taste of the dirt.
You're working with him? After everything he did to us?
Us. There is no us, Callum. There's you, and there's her, and there's the hole you dug for her.
Check your manifest, Callum. Every crate you lost tonight has my stamp on it.
The Newark shipment? The Boston guns? The Miami product? How? My men...
Your men work for me now. Have for 6 months. Ever since Evelyn crawled out of that ditch and asked me for a favor.
You used me. All those years. You were feeding him information.
I was surviving. You taught me well, Callum. Loyalty is for people who aren't digging their own graves. Plug that into your laptop. Go ahead. I'll wait. Yeah, he bought it. Said she was selling to the Biantis. Idiot didn't even check the ledgers. Once she's in the ground, I'll have the whole operation by Friday. Tell your boss the ports are his for the taking.
This is fake. It has to be.
Check the timestamp. March 14th, 9 p.m., exactly 40 minutes before you walked into that study and accused me of treason.
She didn't just forge it, Callum. She recorded it in your office, using the camera Evelyn installed behind the bookshelf. Smart girl, our Evelyn.
And the best part? He's gonna bury her himself. Can you believe it? After everything she did for him, he's gonna put her in the ground like a bad investment.
That's the ghost ledger. Every bribe, every kill order, every lie you told yourself to sleep at night. I kept copies. In the pockets of every made man in this room. In the lining of Lena's fur coat. In the hollow heel of your favorite dress shoes. Burn the crates.
Ev, please. I'll fix this. I'll kill her myself. I'll give you everything.
You already gave me everything. You gave me the shovel, you gave me the dirt, and now I'm giving you the fire. Callum, the rats in that ditch, they were better company than you ever were. You look like hell.
She was alive.
Briefly. I told you to check the pulse. You never were good with details.
You lied. You forged the ledgers. You recorded yourself framing her.
I did. And you believed me. That's the part that's going to haunt you, Callum. Not that I lied, that you wanted to believe me.
Why?
Why? Because she was in my way? Because you looked at her like she hung the moon? Because you let her sit in on meetings, touch your guns, sleep in your bed? I'm your sister, Callum. Your blood. And you treated her like she was family and me like I was a stain on the rug.
You're not my sister. Not by blood, not by choice.
Somatics. She's gonna kill you, you know, slowly, publicly. She's already started. The ports, the men, the money. By this time next week, you'll be begging on street corners for enough to buy a bullet.
I'll stop her.
How? You don't have the men, you don't have the guns, you don't even have the key to the liquor cabinet. She took that, didn't you notice? No, you're finished. And the best part? I get to watch. You won't, because you're a coward. You always were. You let me do your dirty work, because you couldn't stomach getting your hands dirty. And now you get to watch her do the same thing to you. Only she won't hesitate. She won't flinch. And when she's done, she won't even remember your name.
I didn't know.
You didn't check if I was breathing.
He's in the cellar, drinking himself to death, talking to shadows. You don't have to go back. We can take the West Coast. Leave him to rot.
I do have to go back. He needs to see me. Not a ghost, not a memory. Me, standing over what's left. You kept it.
I couldn't let go. Thought if I held it, maybe you'd come back.
I did come back, and you're still holding it wrong.
Wrong?
You're gripping it like a man asking for forgiveness. You should be gripping it like a man who knows he's already damned.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean. I thought.
I know what you thought. You thought I was disposable. You thought your legacy was more important than my life. You thought you could bury me and sleep at night. The first shovel of dirt hit my face at 11:47 p.m. I remember because I was wearing a watch. Your watch. The one you gave me for our anniversary. You didn't notice it was missing when they dragged me out, did you? I stopped fighting at the 10th shovel load. Not because I couldn't breathe, because I realized you weren't watching to see if I'd die. Why are you circling up somewhere? You were watching to see if I'd beg.
I didn't beg, Callum. Not then, not now. And that's the difference between yous. You'll spend the rest of your life begging for a mercy I stopped believing in the second that dirt's hit my face.
Keep the shovel, it's the only thing you've ever given me that didn't come with a leash.
He's been calling every hour. From burner phones, from pay phones from the cellar, I think.
Let him. I bought this place for $300,000. Appraised value is $2 million. Sell it, donate the proceeds to the veterans shelter.
That's a lot of blankets.
That's the point. He loved this place, thought it made him look civilized, like he wasn't just another thug with a god complex. He used to say this is where we build the future. Turns out the future was 6 feet underground and he was holding the shovel.
What about the casino?
Burn it. After we strip the safes, every chip, every bill, every diamond in the vault, give it to the families of the men he buried in my name.
What about Lena?
Not yet. She's still useful. For now. I want you to leak something to the commission. Tell them Callum's losing his grip, that he's seeing ghosts, that he's drinking from the bottle she left him. The truth is a luxury he can't afford anymore. Oh, and Julian? Make sure he knows who bought the restaurant. I want him to see my name on the deed when he drives by tomorrow morning.
Already done. It's listed under Reyes Holdings.
Good. Now burn it.
Ev, please.
You're blocking my elevator.
I know what you're doing. The restaurant, the casino, the ports, you're taking everything.
I'm taking back what was never yours to begin with. Move.
I'll give you more. Double, triple. The entire East Coast. My name, my men. Just talk to me.
You already gave me everything. You gave me the shovel, you gave me the dirt, you gave me the silence, and you gave me the rat.
The rat?
The one that chewed through my restraints. Small thing, missing half its tail. It was in that ditch with me for 3 hours before it found the weak link in the rope. You know what's funny? That rat fought harder to keep me alive than you ever did.
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to
You don't have a life left to spend. You have a grave to tend, and a shovel to hold.
He'll think he's losing his mind.
He already has. The rat was a nice touch.
Found it in the cellar. Figured it was appropriate.
He's not gonna stop, Evelyn. He'll crawl through glass to get to you.
Let him. Every time he reaches for me, he'll find dirt under his nails instead, and every time he closes his eyes, he'll see that rat.
What's next?
Lena. She's getting bold. Poisoning drinks, whispering in ears. It's time she learned what happens when you play in the dark.
And Callum?
Leave him in the garage. Let him talk to rats. Let him praise to shovels. It's the only company he deserves. I was wondering when you'd show up. Callum's losing his mind. Did you know? He's been ranting about rats in the cellar. Rats with your face, apparently. Cute. Veuve Clicquot. You always did have expensive taste in other people's things. What do you want, Evely? Another apology? A chance to play the victim again? We've all moved on. Moved on to what? Your brother's in the garage talking to rodents, you're Empson Ash, and you're sitting on a couch that used to be mine drinking my champagne, wearing a dress I bought for your memorial service! Tell me, Lena. When you were picking out my grave mark, did you spring for the deluxe model? Or did you go budget to save for the shoes? You're just bitter because he chose me over you, because I'm blood, and you were just what? The one who kept him alive? The one who mapped the routes? The one who killed the Beyonce's son before he could put a bullet in Callum's head? You're not blood, Lena. You're a parasite. And parasites die when the host figures out he's being drained. You think you're so smart, coming in here acting like you own everything, but you don't. I have the men, I have the contacts, I have the poison. Rat poison, mixed with arsenic, tasteless, odorless. You've been putting it in Callum's whiskey for months. Slow, making him weak, confused, easier to control. That's a lie. Is it? I found it in your vanity, behind the face cream. Clever,
but not clever enough. You know what's funny? You're poisoning the wrong brother. Callum's already dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Here's how this works. You're gonna confess to the commission, to the police. You're gonna tell them everything. The forgeries, the recordings, the poison, every lie you told to bury me.
And if I don't? Then I'll tell them about the safe deposit box. The one in Zurich, account number 774B. The one with the photos of you and Marco Bianchi. The ones from 3 years ago. The ones where you're not just talking to the enemy, Lena. You're in bed with him.
I would. And when I'm done, you won't just be exiled. You'll be a headline. Socialette found dead in ditch. Sound familiar? Clean yourself up. You've got a confession to write. And Lena, wear the shoes. The ones I bought for your memorial. They'll look good in the mugshot. This is a waste of time. She's a traitor. We buried her for a reason.
Shut up, Lena. Let her talk.
2 years ago, I was accused of selling arms to the Bianchis. The evidence? A ledger Lena forged, a recording Lena made, and a brother who chose to believe a lie rather than check if his own sister was breathing. Page 3.
This is Marco Bianchi with Lena 3 years ago.
In her bed.
That's photoshopped. It's not.
Audio from Lena's safe deposit box in Zurich, recorded 2 weeks before the burial. Want to hear the part where she brags about framing Evelyn to get the ports?
Don't you dare play that!
You knew about this?
I thought it was handled. I thought she was unstable.
Unstable. She poisoned your whiskey for 6 months. Rat poison and arson, slow enough to make you confused. Weak. Easy to manipulate. You didn't just hold the shovel, Callum. You drank the poison she handed you.
Is this true? And you believed her over your own blood? Over the woman who built half this empire?
I didn't know. I didn't know.
You didn't want to know. You wanted her to be guilty so you wouldn't have to admit you were wrong, so you could bury the problem instead of facing it. Your confession, signed by Lena, detailing every lie, every forgery, every drop of poison. Read it.
Ev, please.
Too late for please. The commission will handle Lena. As for you, you don't get to be sorry. You don't get to fix this. You just get to watch me take everything you thought you could steal from me.
I want the East Coast ports. All of them. Transferred to Reyes Holdings by sundown. I want Lena's assets frozen, her name erased from every ledger, and I want Callum stripped of his title. Today.
Granted.
What now?
Now we burn the rest of it down.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Ev. I didn't know.
You knew enough.
Ev, you're here. You came.
I came to watch you dig your own grave. Though it seems you've already started.
The commission stripped me. They took everything. The ports, the men. Lena's in a cell. I have nothing left. Nothing but this.
Good. You should keep it. It's the only honest thing you've ever owned.
I'll fix this. I'll get it all back. I'll kill Lena myself. I'll burn every ledger. Just tell me what to do.
Dig.
What?
You heard me. Dig. Keep going. 6 feet ought to do it since you're so fond of the measurement.
You want me to bury myself?
I want you to understand. You buried me alive and walked away. Now I'm asking you to stay. To feel the dirt under your nails. To taste the rain in your mouth. To wonder, with every shovelful, if this is the one that buries you.
Is this enough?
No, it's never enough. But it's a start. The cellar, where you found the bottle. There's a loose brick behind the shelves. Inside you'll find the letters I wrote you. The ones you never read. The ones I buried with myself.
You kept them?
I buried them, along with every lie you told me. Every promise you broke. Every time you looked at me and saw a problem to be solved.
Ev, don't leave me, please! I'll stay here. I'll dig forever. Just don't go!
Stay in the dark, Callum. It suits you.
Get him out.
Ev, is she...
Recognize the place? It's the warehouse where you held her trial, where you sentenced her to death.
Lena O'Reilly has been found guilty of treason, conspiracy, attempted murder, and the poisoning of a commission member. The sentence is death. Callum! Help me! Please! I'm your sister! Don't let her do this!
Stop her! Please! She's still blood!
She's a cancer, and Evelyn's the surgeon. She didn't want you there, said you'd either interfere or beg, said neither was worth the air. But she wanted you to see this, wanted you to know that justice isn't a trial, it's a funeral.
She's really gone.
No, she's just starting. That incinerator, it's got room for one more. Callum. The Beyontongs are moving on the docks tonight. Marco's been spotted with Lena's driver. Check the east entrance. Don't trust the guard rotation. I'll handle the west. The poison in your whiskey. I tasted it. Metallic. Bitter. Same as what killed Uncle Seamus. Lena's been dosing the decanter in your study. Pour it out. Burn the glasses. She's moving the shipment. The one you think I stole. It's in the cellar of the safe house on 4th. Lena's signature is on the manifest. I found it in her vanity. Callum, please, look at it before you decide what to do with me.
Lena?
Mr. O'Reilly, Ms. Reyes asked me to deliver this.
You asked why. Here's your answer. Every lie, every poison, every shovel of dirt. She left you the letters so you'd understand. She left you the photos so you'd remember. And she left you the cellar so you'd have a place to rot.
I didn't know.
Goodbye, Callum. Ma'am.
Word from the east?
Cellar's quiet. He hasn't come up in 2 days.
Has he eaten?
No. And the syndicate?
Falling in line. Your ports are running smooth. Vincente sent a bottle of 64 Macallan. I told him you don't drink gifts from cowards.
Good.
Regrets?
None. He chose the cellar. I just locked the door. Welcome home. Anything I missed?
Lena's assets were auctioned this morning. The proceeds went to the families of the men she had killed. The commission ratified your control of the East Coast ports unanimously. Vincenno's stepping down next month. He recommended you as his successor.
Sensible.
And Callus?
Still in the cellar. We've got a feed if you want to see.
No. I don't need to see.
You could have him committed or exiled or just finished.
I could. But where's the poetry in that? Let him rot in the dark with his letters and his shovel. Let him wonder every day if the Naiwakanaian's in the Seidel darts and know it's his own fault.
What now?
Now we expand. The Mexican cartels want a partner. The Russians need a neutral port. The Asians are looking for a new distribution hubber. We give them what they need. On our terms.
And Callum?
He's a closed file. A footnote in a ledger I burned months ago. Tomorrow, we start with the Mexicans.
The Australians confirmed the meeting. Thursday, Sydney. Good. Book the Gulf Trine. There's something else.
What?
An inquiry came in this morning from a law firm in New York, representing the estate of Callum O'Rourke.
His estate?
He's dead. Confirmed by the coroner 3 days ago. Cause of death, starvation and dehydration. They found him in the cellar.
And the law firm?
They're asking if you want to claim any personal effects. Letters, photographs, a shovel.
No.
Evelyn,
I said no. Burn them, all of it.
I'll handle it. Elena. He was dead to me the day he walked away from that ditch. The rest was just paperwork.
Understood.
Señorita Reyes, a pleasure.
Senor Castillo, the pleasure's mine.
You're smaller than I expected for someone who buried half the East Bay.
And you're more talkative than I expected for someone who wants my ports.
First payment, 20%. As agreed. You'll get the rest when the product moves through Long Beach.
Product? I don't care about your product, I care about the route. Clean, quiet. My cut is 20%, no questions asked. Your men don't touch my people don't touch your product. Understood?
Understood.
Good. Then we have a deal?
Señorita Reyes, one more thing. I heard about your history with the O'Reilly family. It's impressive. But I also heard you left a man alive. In a cellar. That's a weakness, you know? Leaving loose ends.
He's not a loose end. He's a message. And the message is this. Anyone who buries me will spend the rest of their life learning what it feels like to be buried themselves. He's dead, by the way. So I suppose the message was received.
He's gonna be a problem.
They always are. That's why I have you.
And Elena.
And Elena.
I climbed out of a grave. The rest is just details.
Sydney went wing. The Australians signed. They're sending a delegation next month to finalize the logistics.
Good. And the Russians?
They want a meeting in Vladivostok. Tentatively scheduled for the 28th.
Send Elena. Tell her to take the Gulflum. I want her to see the port facility with her own eyes.
Understood. The cellar has been sealed by the authorities. They're calling it a tragic accident, starvation.
Is that what they're calling it?
The legal team handled it. No connection to you, no connection to Reyes Holdings, just a dead man in a basement.
Good. I want to buy that vineyard. The one in Sonoma. I looked at the property listing last night. It's perfect.
Sonoma? That's a long way from the ports.
That's the point. I want a place where the only thing I have to oversee is grapes.
I'll have the paperwork drawn up.
Thank you, Julian.
You don't have to thank me.
I do. For that night in the rain, for pulling me out of the mud, for never asking me to be anything other than what I am.
I'd do it again, every time.
I used to think revenge was the only thing I had left. But it wasn't. It was a door. And I walked through it.
And the shovel?
Melted into a gate hinge. For the vineyard.
Tasting notes from the harvest. You were right. The soil here is perfect.
I know.
The Australians are sending a shipment of rare earths through Long Beach next week. Elena's got it handled.
Good. I trust her.
You should. I learned from the best. The other day, I was walking through the vines at sunrise, and I realized something. I don't dream about the dirt anymore. I don't hear the shovel. I don't feel the weight of the grave.
Evelyn.
I'm not saying I've forgotten. I'll never forget. But that part of my life, it's over.
This one stays.
I thought you wanted to forget.
I want to remember the right things. Not the dirt, not the ditch, not the silence. I want to remember that I climbed out, that I survived, that I built something new on top of what they tried to bury.
That's a good thing to remember.
You two should stay for dinner. I'm making pasta. The kitchen here is ridiculous. I can't believe I never had a proper kitchen before.
I didn't know you cooked.
There's a lot you don't know about me, and that's exactly how I like it.
You actually read this? Cover to cover, twice. Did you know that the best grapes grow in poor soil? They have to struggle. That's what gives them depth. That sounds like a metaphor. Maybe. Or maybe it's just about grapes. It's not fancy, but it's honest.
That's all that matters.
I never thought I'd see you like this. Like what? Peaceful. Me neither.
We should head back. Early meeting tomorrow.
Drive safe. And Julian, thank you for not digging. I climbed out, I built something, and I'm still here.